kids. Hey, look at the story I've got today for us. Do you see what's on here? I bet you can guess what this book is about by the front cover. Look at the pictures on the front cover. Do you think you know what it's about? Did you say apples? Because if you did, you are correct. We're going to learn a little bit about apples today. We're going to learn a little science about apples today, about how apples are made and the different parts of an apple. This story is called Welcome Fall Apples, and it's written by Marilyn Easton. All right. Oh, I see that title page again. There it is. Welcome Fall Apples. That apple's got some leaves still on it, doesn't it? Okay. It says, apples grow on apple trees. They can be found in orchards. Do you know what an orchard is? It's a place where they grow fruit. It's a kind of a fruit farm. On the outside of the apple is the skin, just like we have on the outside of us. We have skin. That part that we see that's colored, that's called the skin. Apples can be found in shades of red, green, and yellow. And sometimes they even have red and yellow on the same apple. Yes. The stem is on the top of the apple. It's right here. It's the part of the apple that was attached to the tree. So when we get apples at the store, sometimes we see a little bit of stem left in there. That stem is the part that was where the apple was hanging on the tree. When you pick it, you break that little stem off. Sometimes we still see it on the apple, but we don't eat it. Under the skin, that's the outside, the colored part, is the flesh or the fruit of the apple. This part that right there, that's the flesh or the fruit. The skin and the flesh are the parts of the apple that people eat. Do you like the skin? Do you like the outside? Some people do not like the outside, but I think I know everybody likes the flesh if they like apples. Okay, at the center, in the very middle of the apple, is the core. Inside the core are the apple seeds. There they are. See the little seeds in the middle? They make like a star when you cut it sideways. An apple seed is planted in the soil. There's the apple seed. They're planting it in the soil. Do you know what soil is? Soil is just a fancy way of saying dirt. It's just dirt. That's the soil. A sprout grows out of the seed. The sprout turns into a sapling or a young tree. A sapling is another word for a little baby tree that's growing. Do you see him? You can see he's got like almost wood right here. As he gets bigger, it'll turn harder and get darker and thicker. A new apple tree does not have fruit yet. When they first grow, they don't grow fruit. It takes 3 to 5 years, almost as old as you are. If somebody planted an apple seed on the day you were born, when you were getting ready to go to kindergarten, that's about the time that the apple tree would start making apples. So it takes 3 to 5 years for an apple tree to grow apples. Apple trees can grow apples, though. Once it starts growing, it can grow apples for 100 years. That's a really long time to make apples. Looky here at this orchard. Do you see the water? They're watering the trees. You see the little trees going down the rows? Yeah. Look at all the apples on this tree. Look at all those apples. Did you know that all those apples on that tree came from one little tiny seed that was planted? One little seed made all those apples. I think that is so cool. I love science. In the spring, the apple tree has leaves. Do you see what it looks like in the spring? You see those leaves? And it also has white or pink flowers. And each flower makes seeds. See that? Those are the flowers that are on the tree. You can kind of see it in this picture too. Let me get it very close. There's leaves on there, but you see those white apple blossoms? Those are the flowers, the apple blossoms, which happens to be Arkansas's state flower. The flower's petals fall off, and a little tiny ball is left on the stem. When all the flower petals fall off, this is what's left. Do you know what that's going to become? Bet you do. That tiny ball is a tiny apple. That's what it grew from, a flower. A flower. It's pretty cool. Over the summer, the apple grows bigger, and in the fall, which is right now, we're about to come up on fall. It's just like next week. When it gets fall, that's when the apples are ready to be picked. Did you know that if you pick an apple during the summer and you bite into it, it's going to be hard and it's going to be bitter. It's not going to taste very good. But if you wait until fall, they'll be delicious. Apples are picked by hand because, did you know that apples get bruises on them? Have you ever gotten a bruise where you got bumped on something that made a bruise and it was kind of sore? Apples can get bruises too on their skin. If they get bumped real hard, they can get bruised. And when they get bruised, it makes a brown yucky spot on the apple that doesn't taste very good and it's pretty mushy. You've probably seen those before. Look at these apples. They're starting to turn colors. You see this one is red and yellow and green. Those are the colors apples can be. Some apples are all those colors at the same time. Washington is the state that grows the most apples. Washington State. Look at the apples there. That's a lot of apples. There are about 7,500 different kinds of apples. What? 7,500 different kinds. And they still only have 3 colors, red, green, or yellow. Around 2,500 kinds of apples are grown in the United States. That's where we live. Wow. Some of the most popular apples in the United States are the Red Delicious, the Golden Delicious, the Granny Smiths, the Galas, and the Fuji apples. Yum. Different kinds of apples have different flavors. Gala apples are sweet, and Granny Smith apples are sour. Have you ever ate a green apple? They make really great pies, but only if you put enough sugar in it to kill the sour. Those green apples, when you bite into them, they make my face go, because they're so sour. Some people use apples to make apple pie. Apple sauce, yum. Apple juice, ooh. Or apple butter. Have you ever had apple butter? It is delicious. I love it on toast. Other people just eat apples picked right from the tree. That's my favorite way to eat them. I like them like that. All right, I want to share with you this apple that I have here, I wanted to show you, we've already saw the stem, but I wanted to show you one other thing that I don't know if you've ever looked at an apple really close and saw the stem. Next time you go to the grocery store, look, you'll see a stem, but that's the part where it was hanging on the tree and growing. On the other end, right there, let's see if it'll focus so you can see. Inside there, you see the little green, real hard little leafy things? That's where the flower used to be. Remember the flower that was on the tree? And then when the petals fell off, there was a little ball starting to grow, and that made the apple. That's where the petals fell off. Right there. This is where it was stuck on the tree. That's the stem. That's where it was stuck on the tree, and it was growing. But this is where the petals fell off. Sometimes you can get an apple that you can really see the flower that used to be there. I mean, the petals are gone, but you can see the little stems and all the little parts that are left of the flower. I think they're delicious. I love apples. Okay, I hope you had a good time learning about apples with me today. Have fun.